This is the story of a team at rock bottom fighting to see another day.
The 2024 season for Kick Sauber can be described with one word: survival.
A brutal year at the back of the grid, a season defined by mechanical failures, pit stop disasters, and the looming question: will they become the first team since 2014 to finish with 0 points?
But behind the struggle, something bigger was brewing. Familiar faces from the paddock joined the Kick Sauber outfit.
The mandate was clear: transform the culture, prepare for Audi.
Past life has been with Ferrari. 28 years are very long at some stage. I started there as graduate. It has become my family, but now that's the past. And coming back in the paddock, wearing a new shirt, it's looking ahead to the new challenge with a lot of enthusiasm, I would say, with a lot of boost energy.
March, Bahrain. The season opener is a disaster.
Valtteri Bottas pulls into the pits.
Looking like you have a problem with the wheel nuts. Stand by.
What should take 3 seconds takes 52. 52 long, painful seconds.
Horrible pit stop for Valtteri Bottas. He's been there for 39 seconds. And this is game over, no matter what happens. So pit stops, this is one of greater consequence in the Grand Prix.
A cross-threaded wheel nut drops him to 19th.
Saudi Arabia, the same problem. Australia, again.
For the third race in a row, Sauber have had a disastrously slow pit stop. Bottas in Bahrain, Joe in Jeddah, Bottas again in Australia, and that team, they're allergic to pit stops.
The team was hemorrhaging any chance at points before the car even touched the track.
Valtteri Bottas, a 10-time Grand Prix winner, calls it his most difficult season in Formula One. Zhou Guanyu battles alongside him, both fighting in positions no one wants.
April brings a brief moment of light, the Chinese Grand Prix. Zhou becomes the first F1 driver to race in front of a home crowd in Shanghai.
Yeah, what a great event this is to be here as a kid. So thanks for all the Chinese fans here and also back home watching TV, and thank you to my team, all you guys.
The reception is electric.
Haven't seen that before on the main straight. He's been given his own Parc Fermé board, and the crowd, you can see who they're supporting. Great moment for Zhou Guanyu, who thanks the fans.
He finished 14th in the race, 9th in the sprint. No points, but hope.
Then, in August, the bombshell.
Mattia Binotto joins as Chief Operating and Chief Technical Officer. He arrives with a stark assessment. The team has been in survival mode for a decade. No winning mentality, no winning mindset. Everything needs to change.
He immediately overhauls the driver lineup for 2025. Out go Valtteri and Zhou.
I still feel like with where I am now and what I was able to show when I have the car to do so, I still have a chance, possibility to coming back, if not next year, but 2026. So things are very independent, things are waiting. I'm waiting for the moments, and I don't think it's finished business. Let's see, and get myself fully prepared for a comeback.
I'm still asking myself what's next. So I still haven't pulled the trigger, let's say. I still want to take a bit of time. It's definitely welcoming a new team into Formula One. It's a great brand. I think it's going to be great for F1. And it also means there's 2 more seats for 26, which is good.
In come Nico Hülkenberg and F2 champion Gabriel Bortolazzo.
Audi arrives in 2026, and this team needs to be ready.
By December, desperation sets in. 23 races, 0 points. The shame of a pointless season looms. Then, Qatar.
Zhou qualifies in the mix. The race begins. He holds the position, lap after lap, defending, managing, surviving. The team holds their breath.
And welcome back to the top 10. Zhou Guanyu and Sauber, they've finally scored in 2024.
He manages 8th place, 4 points, relief. The whole team feels it after what he calls a draining season.
Let's go! Come on, guys! Come on! Oh my god, what a race, man, what a race. It was good, the car was mega. I said I will make up for it, Thank you.
In Abu Dhabi, the finale, Bottas qualified 9th, proving what could have been done all year if only the car had pace.
But his hope of a recovery drive for his final race was taken away when he locked up, made contact with the Haas and had to retire from the race.
Everything just went kind of wrong since lap 1 at the incident. I got a penalty for it. It was my bad. I mean, I was defending with all tires and I tried to brake as late as I could, but I just couldn't stop the car.
The final tally, 10th place, 4 points, both drivers gone.
The work in 2025 will be crucial. Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriele Bortoleto must get up to speed quickly. A winning culture must be instilled. Audi's arrival in 2026 promises excitement, but only if the foundation is built now.
I feel energized. For the new season. I like it. So we are really looking forward to the next season. We finished up last season and really we want to show how capable we are somehow to improve ourselves. And 2025 will be an important season to us.
The question everyone wanted to know was, can Sauber rise from rock bottom before Audi arrives? Or will 2024 be remembered as just another year of struggle in a decade of surviving?
"2024 had been a painful year for the Kick Sauber team. As they ended the season, they headed into the winter being a distant last in the Constructors Championship, with only 4 points scored across 24 races. Early in the season, Sauber couldn't even execute the basics. Bahrain, a 52-second pit stop. A cross-threaded wheel nut dropped Valtteri Bottas to 19th. Saudi Arabia, Australia, the same issues plagued them. By the time they had fixed their pit stops, the performance simply wasn't there. But over the course of the season that felt like it would never let up, there were changes happening. Andreas Seidel, the CEO, and the chairman of the board of directors, Oliver Hoffmann, were out. There was a sudden, dramatic shift in leadership as Audi grew impatient with the lack of progress. August 2024 brought Mattia Binotto, former Ferrari team principal, as Chief Operating and Chief Technical Officer. He became the head of the Audi F1 project in May 2025, responsible for overall development activities in Switzerland, Germany, and the technology office in England. Jonathan Wheatley was also announced as leaving his role as Red Bull's sporting director to become the team principal of Kick Sauber in 2025. Mattia Binotto left his role with Ferrari in the wake of a 2022 campaign in which the team's title charge faded as the year went on.
All the stories are being written for tomorrow about Ferrari's strategy again.
Stay out!
Fuck! Why bloody flaps are improved?
Tire position 5. Multifunction tire position 5.
Charles Leclerc in his own race comes home to finish for the first time, but that might not be too much comfort for a race where he led the early stages. The engine's gone for Carlos Sainz, and whilst he was looking at an overtake on Max Verstappen, he has been undone by a power unit problem.
No.
Charles Leclerc is out of the race. No!
He had been part of the Ferrari team since 1995 and became team principal in 2019, before being replaced with current team boss Fred Vasseur.
Ferrari team principal Mattia Binotto has resigned and will leave at the end of the year.
On April 1st, 2025, Jonathan Wheatley officially moved from Red Bull Racing as sporting director and began his new role as Kick Sauber team principal. He made his race debut at the Japanese Grand Prix. Jonathan had spent 18 years at Red Bull Racing, helping the team win 6 Constructors Championships and 8 driver titles.
Sebastian Vettel, you are the world champion!
Unbelievable! Thank you, I love you.
The world champion, well done, enjoy it! You are the man!
Max Verstappen, you are world champion. We are world champions. Thank you so much.
Yes! Oh my God!
Max, you are a 3-time world champion. That's unbelievable, mate. Absolutely unbelievable.
The contrast couldn't have been starker, from the reigning champions to the back of the grid. But Jonathan saw something different. He saw the bones of what could become Audi's factory team in 2026. Jonathan brought more than just his championship pedigree. He brought standards, discipline, a refusal to accept mediocrity. He joined the team to focus on racing performance of the future F1 factory team, operational management of the race events, and representing Audi at team principal level. Alongside Mattia Binotto, the leadership structure was finally in place.
You know, and I'm working side by side with Mattia on this, and we share the same vision. Mattia's job is a big one. It's really important. He's overall responsible for bringing chassis and powertrain together, creating the ultimate Audi Formula One car. And my job, if you like, when that leaves the factory, I take responsibility, me and my team take responsibility from it there. We run it at the racetrack, and my role is more commercial communications and the race operations.
Two men with elite Formula One experience. Two men who understood what it took to win. The driver lineup would change too. November 2024, the announcement came. Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu would leave the team at the end of the season. The team statement said, "After open and constructive discussions with Valtteri Bottas and Zhou Guanyu, we mutually concluded the conditions to continue together could not be met. We would like to thank both for the contribution they have made to the team in the last 3 years." Valtteri, a 10-time Grand Prix winner, had endured what he called his most difficult season in Formula One. Zhou tried everything, fought for every position, but the results simply weren't there. It was all time for a reset. Enter the replacements. Nico Hülkenberg arrived from Haas, 227 Grand Prix starts, 0 podiums, Formula One's ultimate nearly man. The experienced head who'd seen it all, done it all, except stand on that elusive podium. And alongside him was Gabriele Bortoleto, 20 years old, fresh off winning the Formula 2 Championship. An unknown quantity stepping into the worst team on the grid. Experience meets youth, veteran paired with rookie. It was a gamble. Before the 2025 season had even got underway, the team announced another departure as they continue to restructure and lay the foundation for 2026. Aluni Bravi had been the leading public face of the Sauber operation since 2023 in the role of team representative, having previously served as their general counsel and managing director, as well as sitting on their board. As Audi's arrival stepped another year closer and the team had the key personnel in place, they hoped things would start to look up soon.
The Bahrain sun beat down mercilessly on the 2025 pre-season testing circuit, but inside the Sauber garage, the atmosphere was even more heated. What Nico Hülkenberg would later describe as major trouble was unfolding in real time. The C45 was slow, unpredictable, and fundamentally broken. The car didn't just underperform, it betrayed every simulation, every calculation, every expectation. The notion that this team could emerge as a midfield contender seemed laughable. Yet what appeared to be a complete disaster was actually something else entirely, a car that wasn't even finished. Technical director James Key would later explain the uncomfortable truth. Sauber had deliberately pushed development to the absolute limit, maximising every possible hour before production. With the Audi takeover looming and 2026's new regulations on the horizon, they'd gambled everything on extracting maximum performance, even if it meant arriving in Bahrain with what was essentially a prototype. The real 2025 Sauber C45 wouldn't actually hit the track until Australia.
Even when the proper specification arrived in Melbourne, which was complete with new front wing, floor and bodywork, the problems persisted. Nobody expected much from Sauber, but in qualifying, Gabriele Bortoleto made it to Q2, knocking out his experienced teammates in the process. Being able to outperform Nico on his first qualifying debut was no mean feat. Although Gabby couldn't go any further, he did impress with his high-speed save on his last flying lap. He had a snap of oversteer that nearly ended his session abruptly. Then came Sunday. Changeable conditions. Gabby lined up on the grid 15th. Nico lined up behind him in 17th. Race 1. The rain fell, and with it, opportunity. The 5 lights went out, and the 2025 season kicked into action. Nico delivered a masterclass in survival and speed, surging from a lowly 17th on the grid to claim a magnificent P7. Through torrential rain at the start and a cruel late downpour, he navigated chaos where others faltered. Nico stayed calm, avoided the carnage. The team made the right calls, and when the checkered flag fell, 7th place. 6 points, already more than the entire 2024 season.
Good job, team. Great call there on the strategy. Obviously, that's what we owe this to, but clean first race. That's on the bright side. On the other side, a lot of stuff to do, but we're here to do the job, aren't we? So, yeah, thank you, and I look forward to keep doing this together.
But the truth was that Nico's 7th place in Australia came from a perfectly timed intermediate tyre gamble, not genuine pace. And as the races unfolded, a pattern emerged that would define Kick Sauber's early season struggles. The C45 couldn't follow other cars. For Gabby, making his baptism by fire Formula One debut, the day promised so much. He brought the same determination that his experienced teammate displayed, only to have it snatched away by fate.
Made my brake! Sorry, okay, I crashed, my brake failed.
No problem, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
A late shower ended his maiden race with just 10 laps remaining, a cruel twist in an otherwise valiant performance.
If Australia was hope, China was reality. Nico damaged his floor on lap 1. Gabby spun battling Ollie Behrman. Both cars finished, but way down the order, 14th and 15th after penalties to others. In dirty air, the Kick Sauber became a completely different machine. Opening laps became exercises in survival. Safety car restarts turned into nightmares as rivals pounced and shuffled them down the order. All their qualifying efforts, all their potential, evaporated the moment they found themselves behind another car. The pace just wasn't there. The car just wasn't good enough. The dream was already fading.
Japan, Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Miami, Imola, and Monaco. Race after race without points. In Bahrain, Hülkenberg was disqualified for excessive skid block wear, and his 30th place finish was deleted from the record books. At Imola, they came agonisingly close. Hülkenberg ran 10th, 11th, 12th, always outside the points. In Monaco, strategy became a nightmare, requiring drivers to make at least 2 pit stops and use a minimum of 3 different tyre sets that led to bizarre pacing, with teams slowing deliberately to help teammates. Racing became a strategic procession. They were stuck. 9th in the championship, 1 point behind Alpine, going nowhere. The team had hit rock bottom. Through 8 races, they'd scored just once.
Spain, June. Everything changed. Sauber arrived with upgrades. The upgrade package that arrived at Barcelona wasn't just another development step, it was a philosophical breakthrough. The subtle change to the side pod treatment dramatically improved the consistency of flow coming through from the side pod forward corner undercut. The result wasn't necessarily more downforce, it was predictability, confidence, control. Hülkenberg felt it immediately in FP1, running 0.3 of a second quicker on similar programs. The car hadn't just gotten faster, it had become drivable in conditions that previously rendered it helpless. Gabby qualified 12th, matching the team's best result of the season, but it was race day that would define the weekend. Nico started 16th after a disappointing Saturday. But he had a plan, and crucially, an extra set of soft tyres. An early stop, an aggressive strategy. When the safety car came out, he pitted for fresh softs and attacked. He overtook Lewis Hamilton, defended brilliantly, and when he crossed the line, he was P5. He managed to score 10 points. This was Sauber's best finish since Imola 2022. The upgrades worked, the car was transformed, and suddenly, Sauber were in the fight. 2 weeks later, the F1 circus made its way to Montreal, Canada. Nico started 11th and finished 8th, 4 more points. Back-to-back point finishes for the first time since 2023. The team were on a roll.
Then came Austria and Gabi Bortoletto's breakthrough. The promising rookie qualified 8th, his best of the season. In the race, he held his own, defending, attacking, never putting a wheel wrong. 8th place, 4 points, his first in Formula 1. But that wasn't all. Nico, starting dead last after a qualifying crash, carved through the field. 20th to 9th, 2 more points, 6 points in one race, a double points finish. Sauber were flying.
And then Silverstone. Silverstone brought further evolution of the Spain floor concept, then another upgrade followed. Each iteration built on the breakthrough, addressing the car's peakiness and giving both drivers the confidence to attack. By mid-season, the statistics told a remarkable story. Since Barcelona, Kick Sauber had become the 4th highest scoring team. Hülkenberg was the 6th highest scoring driver in that same period, outscoring Max Verstappen, Kimi Antonelli and Fernando Alonso. But could the team capitalise on this momentum? Could they maximise their results in Silverstone? There was one man who could make history. Nico Hülkenberg. 239 Grand Prix starts. 15 years in Formula 1. 0 podiums. The journey had been long. In 2010, at just 22 years old, fresh off winning the GP2 title, he arrived in Formula 1 with Williams. He was full of promise, full of potential. His stunning pole position in Brazil seemed to signal the start of something special.
Look at the time! Look at that! It's almost a second quicker! Nico Hülkenberg, job on the line at Williams, but a job well done today in qualifying.
But Williams replaced him, just like that. He bounced back with Force India.
Podium was so close today, I'm gutted now.
Don't be gutted. You've driven very well.
Then Sauber.
And look, there's Perez getting a really good exit out of turn 4, and he's going to go wheel to wheel with his teammate down the hill. Hulkenberg nearly touches, has to back out. Perez to move ahead of Nico Hülkenberg and into 4th place.
Then Force India again. He'd even won Le Mans in 2015, which is one of motorsport's crown jewels.
In the 2015 24 Hours of Le Mans, car number 19, driven by Nico Hülkenberg, will take the win from Brendan Hartley in the sister number 17 car. And look at the Porsche flags.
This proved his talent beyond any doubt, but in Formula 1, that elusive podium remained out of reach. The Renault years had promised so much. 2018 brought his career best 7th in the championship.
Very strong showing. Also to get those points in the pocket. Well done. Great job, everybody.
Then came 2019. Germany, his home race. Running second in treacherous conditions. The dream was within touching distance. And then, the crash. The chance at a podium was snatched away.
And he's ending his home Grand Prix in the barriers.
This one really hurt.
I don't know what to say, it's just fantastic effort, fantastic race up to that point from the team, from myself. And then, I lost the car.
Formula 1 let him go. Again. For the second time, Nico Hülkenberg was out of a drive. His consistency at Haas in 2023 and 2024 proved the old dog still had it. Kick Sauber came calling for 2025. But now, at Silverstone, starting 19th on the grid on one of F1's fastest tracks, surely this wasn't the day. Not here. Not from that far back. It started terribly. Both cars were knocked out in Q1. Hülkenberg 19th on the grid. But Sunday brought rain. And with rain came the greatest equaliser. Formation lap. Green flag. Go. Nico was patient. Others crashed. Others spun. He stayed on track. Pitted at the perfect moment for fresh intermediates while rivals struggled. Lap 9. The rain intensified. Another perfectly timed stop. He jumped to 4th. The track began to dry. Lewis Hamilton, hunting him down in the Ferrari, pitted for slicks too early. He slid wide at Village. Nico pitted a lap later. The timing was perfect. 12 laps to go. Hamilton was faster. The gap closed. 9 seconds. 8 seconds. 15 years. The home heartbreak in Germany. The exits. The comebacks. The substitute drives. The near misses. All of it. Every single moment came down to this.
And how about this? No one has ever waited as long to stand on a Formula One podium. Get rid of that stat and celebrate Nico Hülkenberg. 239 starts and a podium finisher in Formula One at long, long last.
Nico Hülkenberg crossed the line in 3rd place. His first ever Formula One podium.
Podium, P3 baby.
I don't think I can comprehend what we just done. Oh my god.
Incredible, man. Enjoy it. You did an absolutely fantastic job. I can't believe it.
From 19th to 3rd, the impossible made real. Formula One's longest wait was over.
Nico, absolute masterclass today. This has been the most overdue podium in Formula One history, and you nailed it. Absolutely fantastic job.
Nico, it's Gabi. Man, you don't know how happy I am for you. You are a fucking legend. Honestly, absolutely insane what you did today.
At 37 years old, Nico Hülkenberg had finally done it. Just like that, Formula One's underdog story of the decade was complete. The momentum didn't stop. Belgium, Bortoleto qualified 10th, made Q3 for the second time and scored 2 more points with 9th place. Hungary was even better. Bortoleto qualified 7th, his joint best of the season. In the race, he defended brilliantly against Max Verstappen, made his strategy work, and crossed the line 6th. 8 points.
Fantastic lap 1, and impressive time management and managing the whole race. Great job. That's a P6. Very well deserved, Gabi. Very well deserved. So happy to the people here.
His best result.
What a weekend, guys. That's a good way of going to summer break. Thank you, every single one of you. Thank you, really. That's shows our evolution for the year and the progress we're making as a team. So well done, everyone.
He was even voted Driver of the Day.
Just a little more thing. You are the driver of the day. Well done. This time we found it before we finished the middle lap. Well done.
6 consecutive races with points. 51 points at the summer break. 7th in the championship. The transformation was on display for everyone to see. But nothing lasts forever in racing. Netherlands. A clutch issue at the start dropped Bortoleto to the back. Hülkenberg's strategy didn't pay off. No points. The 6-race streak was over. Monza bought the team a recovery. Gabi was 8th, Nico sidelined with hydraulic failure before the race even began. Then came the pain. Azerbaijan 11th and 16th. Singapore 17th and 20th, both with contact damage. The car was struggling again. The midfield pack had closed the gap. Kick Sauber were slipping.
Texas brought redemption. Nico qualified 4th for the sprint, Kick Sauber's highest grip position in years. A turn 1 collision ruined the sprint, but Sunday delivered. 8th place, 4 points, the fight was back on. Mexico City. Nico's power unit failed on the formation lap. Another DNF, crushing. But Gabby, starting 16th, he drove the race of his life. Overtook on track, managed his tyres perfectly, and on the final lap, he hunted down Isaac Hadjar in the Racing Bulls. The move into turn 1, committed, clean, done. But Brazil was cruel. Sprint qualifying went well. Nico made SQ3 for the second straight sprint event, then the sprint race, lap 19, Bortoleto battling Albon for position, a moment, loss of control. 57 Gs, a massive impact. He walked away, but his car was destroyed. The team worked through the night, new chassis, new engine, new gearbox, everything. But a small issue meant the car wasn't ready for qualifying. No qualifying at his home Grand Prix. Sunday was worse. Lap 1. Contact to Stroll. Into the barriers. Race over. 2 crashes in 2 days. 0 laps completed in the Grand Prix in front of his home crowd. But Nico salvaged something. He delivered a one-stop strategy, showed excellent tyre management, and clung on to 9th place. 2 more points. Las Vegas. Hülkenberg qualified 11th after missing Q3 by the smallest margin. In the race, a brilliant one-stop strategy delivered 7th, upgraded to 5th after McLaren's disqualification. But Gabby, collision with Stroll on lap 1, another DNF, a 5-place grid penalty for Qatar. Gabby started 19th with the penalty. Nico looked good for points until lap 7. He had contact with Gasly, got a puncture, and was forced to retire. Gabby recovered to 13th, a solid result, but not enough.
Abu Dhabi, the final race, the end of an era. Gabby looked strong all weekend, and in qualifying, he delivered one last time. 7th on the grid, joint best of the season, a perfect way to say goodbye. Sunday, lights out for the last time as Sauber. Gabby ran close to his manager Fernando Alonso early, but got stuck in traffic after his stop. He finished 11th, agonisingly close to the points. Nico started 18th after a qualifying mistake, and he charged through the field once more. Soft tyres, early stop, overtakes, pressure, and then Lance Stroll's penalty was applied. 9th place, 2 points, a fitting final act. The final tally, 70 points, 9th in the championship, just 9 points behind Haas. But the numbers don't tell the full story. From 4 points in 2024 to 70 in 2025. From 1 points finish to 15. From survival mode to a podium at Silverstone. After 33 years, the Sauber name had disappeared from Formula 1, but what a way to go. From despair to hope. From last to the podium. From Sauber to Audi.
But this wasn't an ending. It was a transformation. The lessons learned, the breakthroughs achieved, and the confidence restored would all carry forward into something bigger. On January 1st, 2026, Kick Sauber would officially become the Audi F1 factory team.
It's a hugely busy time for every Formula One team, and everyone's focus naturally turns to 2026. We are on schedule with our dyno program. The engine's been on the dyno for a while now. The focus now is on reliability because, as you say, we'll be running the car in an incredibly short period of time. It's an exciting period in the Audi F1 project, obviously mating chassis and power to train together for the first time in December. Obviously, our simulator program naturally starts to lean towards 2026 as well. But I think in both of those programs, a little bit too early to talk about performance. And of course, we won't really know any of this until first qualifying session and first race in Melbourne.
This wasn't just a rebranding exercise or a title sponsorship. This was one of the world's most prestigious automotive manufacturers making a full factory commitment to Formula One, developing its own power unit in Germany, taking complete ownership of the team, and declaring to the world, "We are here to win." 2026 represents a complete regulatory reset. New chassis regulations, entirely new power units, and a cost cap that levels the playing field. Every team, from the championship winners to the backmarkers, would start from zero. But there was another factor that made 2026 special: sustainability. The new regulations mandated technologies that aligned perfectly with Audi's vision for the future of mobility. The roadmap for Audi is realistic but ambitious. They are aiming for continuous improvement through their initial years, building infrastructure, processes, and culture. By 2030, they are aiming to fight for the World Championship titles. It's a three-phase approach: start as a challenger, evolve into a competitor, and ultimately become a champion. The lessons of Sauber's 2025 struggles would inform every step.
The Audi F1 project operates across 3 sites. At the heart of the Audi F1 project is the revolutionary power unit, developed not in England's Motorsport Valley, but in Germany. Hinwil, Switzerland, which is the former Sauber headquarters, handles chassis development, racecar construction, and all race operations. Bicester, England, which is the newest addition, sits in the heart of Motorsport Valley, providing access to the world's deepest pool of F1 talent and expertise. 2026 will be an exciting time as we get to finally see the all-new Audi R26 on the track. When the concept was unveiled in Munich in November 2025, it made a statement. The colour palette was titanium, carbon black, and a new Audi red. It was bold, technical, and unmistakably premium. They have said that the car will have minimalist graphic surfaces with precise geometric cuts, so it would integrate seamlessly with the car's aerodynamic sculpture. The driver lineup mirrors the team's philosophy perfectly. Nico Hülkenberg brings 250 Grand Prix starts, a Le Mans victory, and a 2025 podium that proves he still belongs at the sport's highest level. Gabriel Bortoleto arrives as one of the most exciting young talents in decades, Formula 3 and Formula 2 champion in consecutive rookie seasons, a feat only 3 drivers before him ever achieved. The team is no longer the underdog hoping for points. They're a factory team backed by one of the world's premier manufacturers, armed with cutting-edge hybrid technology developed specifically for the new regulations, competing on equal terms with everyone else for the first time in years. This is Audi's moment. This is why they waited. And this is why the timing is perfect. The Sauber chapter closes with dignity restored and lessons learned. The Audi chapter begins with ambition, technology, and the unwavering belief that championships aren't won overnight. They're built through relentless improvement year after year until excellence becomes inevitable. The journey to 2030 starts now.
So that was Sauber's final season. 70 points, 9th in the Constructors Championship, and Nico Hülkenberg's first ever podium after 239 races. But here's the thing, this wasn't really about 2025 at all, was it? This was about building the foundation for Audi. So let's talk about what comes next. Sauber goes away, Audi arrives. On paper, it's just a rebrand, but in reality, it's one of the biggest manufacturer commitments F1 has seen in years. So, Audi's roadmap is clear. Continuous improvement, fight for championships by 2030. That's 5 seasons from their debut. Do you think that's realistic?
I think they've got the foundations in place. I think they are a very competitive midfield team. And I also think while we were working on this episode, I was thinking about the last episode that we've just done, which was all about Alpine. And I feel like Sauber, where it was in 2024, was where Alpine was in 2025. They've had a new driver lineup and they put in all of the work, and the management seems to be getting more stable and they seem to be very supportive and encouraging. And I think they have potential to really continue to grow and continue to improve and continue to be competitive because, I mean, yes, they got 9th this year, but I could easily see them going to 5th or 6th place in the next few years.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at when Red Bull, backed by Dietrich Mateschitz, decided to purchase the Jaguar team back in 2005, from the point of which that they entered the sport to the time that they won their first championship, it was 5 years. So for Audi to be projecting this, they obviously put their bid in quite a long time ago with the idea of these new 2026 regulations coming in and being able to build a power unit ahead of time. If we rewind back to 2014, which is when the turbo hybrid era of machines came in for F1 and Mercedes began what would end up being, 8 years of dominance, they had a few years prior that they were starting to work on, and obviously started off with Brawn GP and so on and so forth. History ended up, repeating itself potentially with Audi because they've had a few years to start sinking their teeth into these regulations, into this power unit. So although it sounds like a very long time away, once we hit the new year, that's only 4 years, and I think that can do a large amount of time, can really settle themselves into a very competitive place. I also think having Mattia Binotto and Jonathan Wheatley from Ferrari and Red Bull respectively, they know what it's like to have the pressure and the eyes on them whilst working in a very high pressure and high up team, and I think that can make the difference. And I think getting Jonathan Wheatley was an absolute goldmine for Audi because he's a fantastic leader. He's very well respected up and down the paddock. He's a really lovely guy and he's got a great idea, a very healthy outlook on success. And I think the way that he coaches his drivers must be very different coaching styles for both Nico and then Gabby. But I think he's got a really great idea and he's fostering a great environment in that team. And I'm genuinely really looking forward to seeing how the Audi team happen, but I think it might be a really slow start because they're completely brand new. Things like pit stops, strategy, their personnel, they'll need to start finding their own feet with their brand, but I think it could end up being a really, really strong team.
Yeah, and I think what we learnt from the Alpine episode last week, if you haven't listened to it, go and have a listen.
It's so good. Give
really
it a go. It's so good. It is.
But what we learnt from that is how much the organisational structure plays a huge role in how a team is able to perform.
Mm-hmm.
And I think having someone like Binotto and having Jonathan Wheatley and having like a clear idea and a clear plan is what is going to help them. So Audi has their 3-phase approach: come in as a challenger, move up to being a competitor, and then become a champion. They've got their idea of how they want this to go. And like we said last week, data means you can evaluate your performance, and they've clearly got KPIs in place. They've got the team structure that they want and the plan to get them there. I have faith.
I do too. I'm really excited to see what the car looks like. I know we've seen renders and photos of it. I'm excited to see it out on track, how it's going to look. I don't know. I think there's a lot of eyes on Formula One. It's very popular at the minute.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a lot of people that are coming to the sport and joining the sport. And we've had a lot of manufacturers join and leave and come back and forth when it comes to Formula One. But it's nice to see that we've got 2 new, big teams joining in Audi and Cadillac. I think it's a big confirmation to the sport that the party's in the backyard of F1 currently. So I think it's very exciting. I want to see the outfits.
Yeah, yes. What is their suit going to look like?
With Sauber, especially, I remember at the start of the season when I had no idea about F1 and I was still very much learning the drivers' names and the teams' names.
You kept forgetting Sauber existed.
My first response to Sauber was, who the fuck is Sauber? Because to me, they were like, I didn't know who this team was. I had literally no history of them, didn't really see them on TV because I used to watch F1 with both of you and they just weren't in my memory. And very quickly, halfway through the season, I started becoming a big, big fan of Sauber. I feel like the turning point was Nico Hülkenberg's podium, but after that they consistently performed well. And I mean, Gabriel Bortoleto, I think, was one of my standout rookies for this season.
Yeah.
And I think they just have a very wholesome dynamic as well. So I'm a big fan of Sauber now. That's character progression.
Hülkenberg's podium was definitely my highlight of the year.
Oh my God, it was fantastic. I think, though, that when people that I speak to off pod, they don't understand F1, they don't watch it, they don't follow it, that's fine, each to their own. But when people say that infamous phrase, which is it just cars going round in a circle? And it's like, if it was, I wouldn't watch it. It's because of the people and the personalities and the history and the story and the tensions and the competition, the highs and the lows. You kind of get the full scope of human experience watching F1. But it's moments like Nico Hülkenberg, after 15 long years, a brilliantly successful career, but just not ever quite able to get himself up onto that podium and getting it in a car we never thought would be able to get him there. On a track that's one of the fastest tracks. I know! Like, one of the most iconic, but also one of the fastest tracks. It's a very demanding track, is Silverstone, which is why we love it.
And in such tricky conditions as well.
Exactly that. And I think that, like, when we talk about what makes an exciting race, changeable conditions where you have to just feel your way through those conditions, but also just a lot of things happen around you and you just have to say, I hope that doesn't happen to me. I think that Hülkenberg's podium, warmed a lot of people's hearts. I don't think there was a single person on that paddock that day that wasn't... There was even Piastri had a radio message and said, can the day be that bad? Hülkenberg got on the podium.
Yeah.
Like, and Will Joseph, Lando Norris's engineer, even mentioned it to Lando after he won his home Grand Prix for the first... As if Lando gives a fuck. But that tells you how much of a big thing, like, fucking hell, Hulk managed to get on the podium. Like, it was a big deal. I think everyone was happy for him. When I saw all of the posts on Instagram and social media in general, I never saw anyone like, he didn't deserve that, fuck him. Everybody was like, amazing day, amazing result.
I mean, bless Lando, it kind of stole the thunder from him winning his first home Grand Prix. He won and no one gave a shit.
Yeah,
Everyone was just like, oh my God, Hülkenberg.
I think we put Nico Hülkenberg as our Grand Prix for that day, even though it was Norris.
And I stand by it.
And if we didn't reassess, please.
I think he might have even gotten driver of the day.
I think he definitely would have got driver of the day.
Probably.
Yeah.
We've now spoken about Hülkenberg. Let's go to Bortoleto a bit. He was the rookie driver of the year, one of them, one of many. Do you think he can develop into a championship contender? Or is he just a solid number 2 driver?
Absolutely not would I put Gabriel Bortoleto into the simple box of number 2 driver. He's obviously going to be a number 2 driver in relation to Nico Hülkenberg. Nico Hülkenberg, he has a proven track record of being able to drive any sort of car and be able to perform in it and be able to get good point scoring weekends in and out. He's consistent. However, Gabriel Bortoleto battled Isaac Hadjar, who is now in Racing Bulls, in the F2 season and came out victorious. There was a lot of exciting noise around Gabriel Bortoleto. And I don't think that you can win F3 and F2 and then come to F1 and be able to impress in a Sauber, because yes, he had some crashes and some DNFs and some difficulties. However, he was able to prevail with some fantastic performances, some brilliant one-lap pace. And ultimately, I think he instilled a lot of confidence for the Audi team that will now be coming in for 2026, that if there's an opportunity, he will be there fighting alongside them. So I think that there's an exciting premise when it comes to Bortoleto, and I'm excited to see if the car is a more complete package for him to sink his teeth into, what he can achieve.
And the head-to-heads, if you look at them between Hülkenberg and Bortoleto, they were quite close match.
Oh, yeah?
Qualifying head-to-head, Bortoleto won out 1 to Nico Hülkenberg, so Hülkenberg 11, 12 to Bortoleto, and he didn't get a score for Sao Paulo qualifying as he didn't take part because of his crash. And then the race head-to-head, Hülkenberg 12, Bortoleto 11. Again, no score for the Bahrain Grand Prix as Hülkenberg was disqualified. But, like, that is very close.
So they're pretty evenly matched then?
Really evenly matched, considering you've got someone with 250 race starts and someone who was in his rookie year.
Those kind of statistics speak for themselves. I think that's a fantastic glimmer of hope for Gabriel Bortoleto's career, and I'm sure that's probably plastered all over his CV because he never needs to use it.
I have a slightly controversial take, which is I think Gabriel Borsalto could very much be a championship contender, but I think he would be one in a different team. And I could see him moving to a different team sometime in the future. I think he'll do great in Sauber. I think he'll continue to score points. I think he'll do a lot better next year as well. But I think if he moves to a more competitive team, like if he moves to Mercedes or if he moves to, not Ferrari, if he moves to Red Bull maybe, I think I could see him being a contender. But unfortunately, I don't think I see really any of the midfield teams having drivers that could win a championship.
Well, you're saying that with the current landscape as we're sitting in 2025.
Yeah.
But 2026, if we're allowed to be led to believe what the headlines are saying currently, anyone with a Mercedes power unit for 2026 in the back of their car should be competitive. That remains to be seen currently. But that could change the pecking order. I'm not saying that Gabriel Bortoleto will suddenly be a championship contender in March 2026, but I think that it gives a huge change to the landscape of competition as we go into this new regulatory stage. So there might be more wiggle room for him. It might be that Aston Martin become very successful and very competitive, and Fernando Alonso retires and suddenly there's an opening there.
Yeah.
Things change all the time. I think that he could be very much up there with the generation after the sort of Lando, Charles, George sort of era of drivers. I think he could be the next lot, which is Lawson, Isaac Hadjar and Kimi Antonelli and Bortoleto. I think those guys will be the next generation of drivers that will be world champions.
Okay, so he's a wild card, let's say, because we don't know what's going to happen. The other big wild card that no one has any idea about is the Audi power unit. Now, they are creating their own engine, and this set of regulations is obviously very power unit based. They've been developing this since 2022, but there is no track testing until early 2026. It's going to be a complete unknown. Now, the new regulations, obviously new power units for everyone. Do you think that this puts them in good stead to be competitive, or do you think that the established manufacturers are going to have the edge?
Well, they're coming from a base, although it's all very new and shiny and exciting, they are coming from Audi. They know how to make cars, which means they know how to make power units. They've been developing since 2022, but they had a completed first draft unit in 2024. So they are definitely on schedule. You know, then they're not asking for, you know, a late deadline period. They are definitely on task and on time to deliver this, which gives me hope. The only issue is that designing a car power unit and an F1 car power unit are vastly different things. So I do think there'll be a teething period. As we saw with the 2022 regulations, we saw a lot of unreliability with, if you remember, Carlos Sainz's power unit just sort of exploded in Austria 2022, like it was like a bomb was inside it. We had Max Verstappen and Sergio Perez, both the Red Bulls, out in the first race in the season open for 2022 due to reliability of their engines. So there could be a lot of that, and it could be rampant throughout 2026 as teams are still tinkering and getting to know these vastly different engines. So unfortunately, I have no fucking clue if that engine's going to be any good. I hope it is, but we'll see how many cars end the race on the first lap, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it is risky, but then again, like literally everything that any of the teams are doing in preparation for 2026 can be considered risky, because, like you said, you don't have any idea what's going to happen. So it could either be the best thing to ever happen to Kick Sauber / Audi, or it could be the worst. And whatever it is, we will recap it in the next documentary.
And they've already had a season where their car has completely defied all of the simulations and all of the testing. So it's not to say that that might not happen for any of the teams ever again.
But I mean, as a season like Alpine have had, which is just a season to sort of fly by and arrive at 2026 saying, thank God that's over, they've had a phenomenal turnaround. I think that should give them confidence. And we've said it before, momentum creates momentum. I think if the team are coming back and saying, that was a really fucking good effort from everybody, we're now gearing up with new facilities, all guns blazing, we're ready to make a statement, we're ready to get this season underway, I think that that's a really great mentality. For Alpine, they'll be fueled by the fact that they didn't have that sort of season. But both momentums can help, so I'm excited to see what happens.
Right, let's round out the episode, go around the table once again, and each of us give our 2026 constructor prediction, our bold prediction about Audi's debut season, and our confidence level on a scale of 1 to 10 in them fighting for championships by 2030.
For my 2026 constructor position, I'm going to give P8.
8, okay.
I'm not quite sure who's going to be behind them, but I do think there's going to be teething problems with such a huge operation trying to get this sorted. I think that there will be a few flashes of great performances, but they have a roadmap laid out for 2030, and we are nowhere close to that just yet. I think that they'll need to iron out small, silly little things that happen. It might be pit stop procedure, it might be communication with radio engineers, it might be development talk. Whatever it is, I think that there will be a natural state of flux as they try and find their feet, whilst they're also having to do a live season that they're competing in, and also learning how to compete in the season they're part of.
I am going to give them P6.
Holy moly guacamole, that's very optimistic.
Yeah, I have faith. I think, when I think of Audi, I think of like posh nosh car.
Oh.
I think it's sleek. It has a good reputation. It's not going on the street just to get you from A to B. It's going on the street to get you from A to B and look sexy while you're doing it. I don't think...
It's why I drive Audi.
I didn't know buses were Audis. I don't think...
Cheeky cow.
I don't think they would enter the sport knowing that they will basically look a bit shit in doing so. I think that they will be coming into this very, very, very prepared. And I think that they will basically do everything that they can to make
Mercedes
sure...
in 2014. I mean, to be fair, both German engineering and German manufacturing.
Yeah.
So
look, the Germans know how to make cars.
That is true. And also, it is kind of the exact same as Mercedes.
Yeah.
New regulatory season, taking over a team that was already in the sport, rebranding to their branding, having a new logo, a new face, a bit of a facelift, and then coming in out of fucking nowhere and demolishing the competition. P6. Well, that's not what Mercedes did, but that's what Nav predicted. So I'm just trying to say what she said.
I was going to say your prediction was P8.
Yeah.
Mine is in the middle between both of you. I'll go with P7 for next year. So I've got high hopes as well.
People pleaser.
Well, I was going to say P6, but then I decided to be different. So P7, I've got high hopes.
You can just agree with me. There's nothing wrong with that.
So I've got high hopes for Sauber. I think they'll do well next year. I think they will continue to improve year on year. My bold prediction, though, is that next year we will see a bit more competition between Nico Hülkenberg and Gabriel Bortoleto. I think the friendship...
The claws are out.
Might get a bit more tense next year, because I think Bortoleto is going to be a lot more competitive. I think he'll be on more of an equal footing as Nico Hülkenberg, and I think they might start to get in each other's way a little bit. So we'll make it interesting, but yeah, that's my bold prediction.
So you think he was being friendly this year, just the friendly rookie, and next year he's gonna...
I think this year Hülkenberg was his mentor. Next year, he's his rival.
Whoa!
Dramatic.
Clip that up, Netflix. My bold prediction is that they will have an engine-related DNF in the first 4 races.
Makes sense.
I think that even though there's going to be a lot of time and effort put into this engine, I'm still dead certain there's going to be a lot of reliability issues at the start of the season. And I think that with a brand new power unit, although it's been manufactured for 2022, there's lots of different variables that can upset a power unit in Formula One. Temperature, how much revs you're putting in, how hard you're pushing it. And I think that there'll be unforeseen dramas that happen in testing and beyond. As we saw with porpoising in 2022, no one could have foreseen that happening, and it plagued every single team up and down the grid. It was just some teams were able to deal with it better than others, and I think that could be the case for the power units in 2026. So I don't want to see it, but I feel that I will.
Okay.
And I'm prepared.
My prediction is a bit more in line with Reams. I think that there will be a race where Hülkenberg and Bortoleto are battling for points. Things get a bit spicy and they take each other out.
Ooh.
and then Hülkenberg can say that infamous line, "I'm hanging here like a cow." If you haven't seen that clip, Google it and YouTube it, because, oh my God, it's comedy gold. It's comedy gold.
It's a brilliant quote from him. But yeah, I think that they'll get a bit competitive on track for one of the races and just knock each other out of the race.
What is your confidence level, ladies, 1 through to 10, in them fighting for a championship in 2030?
1 being no hope at all, 10 being they're basically going to be champion. I'm going to say 7.
I'm going to say 5. 4.5.
I'll say an 8.
An 8?
Yeah. By 2030.
All right.
2030, a lot could change.
That's only 4 years away.
Yeah, but a lot could change. So
I know, but like Haas, was not spoiler, but like Haas was created in 2016, and by 2020 they were not fighting for a championship.
I don't know.
Fighting just to stay on the
Things
grid.
might change. They're going to be Audi. So a few.
Well, we know that, but
they'll be Audi. They're going to have 2026 to get themselves comfortable with the 2026 regulations, and they are using their new power units, and they're basically getting started. And then 2027, we'll see more improvements. 2028, even more. And then 2029, close to being upper midfield. And then who knows, 2030, fighting for a championship.
It's a beautiful fairy tale. I don't know that it's going to be that easy, but I'd love to see Ream GP rise up with such a vague idea for a championship in 4 years.
With that theory, you forget about the likes of Mercedes and Red Bull and Ferrari and McLaren.
Ferrari's not that high up. Like, yes, okay.
They're a top team. They're not the greatest top team, but they're there.
They're third in constructors this year, but at the same time, Ferrari.
Fourth.
Are they fourth?
Yeah.
Yep.
Aren't they third and Red Bull's fourth?
No.
Oh damn, they're fourth, and that's with 2 drivers. Like Max is carrying Red Bull one-handed, So
yeah,
I don't know. I think Ferrari, unless they do major changes, I don't really see them being that competitive anymore.
So you think they'll be bumped down the order for Audi?
Yeah.
A team that's 4 years young?
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's your bold prediction.
That actually is your bold prediction. Your positivity is out of fucking control. That's what's happening here. You need to pipe that down, lady.
But watch me get to the Ferrari episode and she's like, I think they're going to win this.
Yeah, legit. I just... Charles Leclerc's a lovely boy.
All right, well, that is Sauber, all done and dusted, wrapped up with a bow and ready to give itself to Audi.
Oh.
Wow.
Like a virgin.
And next week, we will be covering the team that finished in 8th place in the constructor standings, which is...
Haas.
Aston Martin.
Haas.
Oh, sorry. That was a joke. I was testing you.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode. If you did, please share it, like it, leave a review, share
Actually
it with a
do.
friend.
I'm not going to lie to you. I love to be, this is nothing but a thing. No, this is such a thing for us. This is an all-consuming crimbo limbo / goochmas. I have just been looking at Nico Hülkenberg's face, Gabby Bortoletto's face, listening to Jonathan Bortoletto. That's not his name. See? Look at me. I'm falling apart. My New Year's resolution is for us to win an Independent Podcast Award. We will get there. One mental breakdown and podiumentary episode at a time, but we can't do it alone because we have to give in a case study about why we should win, and some reviews that seem sincere would really help us. Seriously. So we do this for no money. Write a review, please. It was really embarrassing not winning that award last time.
No, we entered it when we were only 4 months in.
Yeah, but now we want
have
to
a lot
crush
be
the
proud of.
competition.
Yeah, that's true. We do want to crush the competition.
We'll be really polite to their faces, but we want to crush them.
Yeah. We want to be Audi coming in this, basically, with the ego that we are going to win.
We want to be Audi in 2030, apparently. That's going to come in and crush the whole thing.
We want Ream's level of deluded.
Yeah, we want Ream GP level of deluded.
If you've enjoyed this, give us a follow on socials. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and X.
What else?
That's it.
There we go.
Tune in next week to find out all about Haas. And Happy New Year!
You has to have a good New Year. It's the rules.